Well, hi there, friends. How has everyone's weekend been going? Hello, hello, hello. Legend, thank you for the 18 months. Silver, thank you for the bits. Appreciate you. Gamer Wolf, hi, friend. Thank you for the biddies. Sea Bunny, thank you, friend. Appreciate the resub. 2 months. Welcome back. Blondie, thank you for the 7 months. Hello. Perfect time to sub. Oh, I appreciate you. Salem, thank you for the 2 months. Hello, friends. Oh, man. Stuff and things, stuff and things. I'm trying to deal with something right now. So I was trying to take care of it before stream started. And of course, it's happening right now. But of course. Amber, thank you for the 5 months. Hello. We will move on to the screen of seeing the things here in a sec. I appreciate the patience. Thank you, friends. Do. Okay. There we go. Freaking weird, man. Murphy, thank you for the biddies. Hello, friend. Oh, Hex, hello. All right, let's see. Is this good? That's good. That's good. What's up, Nutty? How are you? What's up, Doctor? Good to see you, friends. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. That's right. I'll figure out the stuff and the things here in a sec. All will be well. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. First ever streamer that you sub to. I appreciate you. Thank you, friend. Bum, 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 bum. Hi, Trinity. How are you? Sorry, I'm looking down trying to take care of something. Is it cold in the house? I always wear like a hoodie on Sunday. Yeah, it's nice in the room. Yeah, it's nice in the room. Hi, Cody. Hi, Slow. Oh, my Lanta. Oh, my Lanta. What's up, Silver? Your anniversary, DJ, get the hell out of here. Go enjoy your anniversary. I appreciate seeing you. I've been good, Slow. How you been, man? How you been? Just got a monitor to play on and stream on. Recommend how to start off. Do I recommend how to like start streaming? What do you mean? Give me the info. What do you mean? Hex, thank you for the 6 months, dude. Appreciate you. Did anyone else have to watch 7 ads? I saw that message earlier. Yeah, everyone did. That's not subbed or doesn't have turbo. Yeah, at the beginning of stream, I always forced 3 minutes of ads because it's a starting soon screen. It's like 5 minutes long. So, or it's like 5 minutes worth so that when nothing is happening, I'd rather play ads right now so that when I'm on screen, people aren't joining into ads. So the starting soon screen, basically, we run ads every single time. On Phoenix also answered you. Yeah. Yeah. You watched 420? Giggity. Giggity. Let me turn that down. I didn't realize how loud that was. Oh, this stupid crap. Bum, 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 bum. Sorry, dealing with things. Got a new phone, didn't sign into Twitch, didn't realize it until after 2 weeks. I was wondering why I never... Oh my God, Muddy. Oh, my Lanta. Oh, my Lanta. Hi, Hailed. How are you? Hi, edits. We know you saw 7 ads. We know. I have one running in my room and it feels great, but I'm going to go out and fix it tomorrow. Wait, what are you talking about? What's up, Edward? How are you? God, thank you for the 7 months. Hello, friend. Fighting Discord support. Oh, I'm fighting support also, just for something else. Yeah. It's nothing but a blast. Ghost Huntress, hello, how are you? Hello, hello. Yeah, let me get Phasma running. We are on day 2. Day 2 of the all difficulty tier 1 only challenge. So we're just going to keep going it, man. We're just going to keep doing it. Hi, Pav. Pav logs out of Twitch so he can watch ads. He's a real one. He's a real one. Big ad enjoyer, yeah. I do kind of wish that there was like a button. It was a perk that like you're just curious what ads somebody's watching, so you can just turn it on real quick. Be like, oh, okay, I'm good. I think that'd be kind of neat. Trinity, I don't have high hopes. How far did we make it? Why are you doing things? We made it to the we're to the apocalypse runs now. What? Sorry, trying to open 15 things. Got to bring back the Prime ad? Yeah. Ghost gambling? No. No. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it on a specific day, and I'll make sure to announce it. We're not just going to randomly do it just for kicks. No. Kirby, thank you for the 9 months. Hello, friend. Okay. Still trying to deal with this person. Like that pizza he was going to make. No, that was like 15 years ago, Pav. I just made it and ate it without showing anybody. How was day 1? Dude, ghosts were annoying. Our ghosties on day 1 were stupid. They sucked. They were no bueno. They were not fun. Yeah, ghosties were not good. Are you going to do a lockdown protocol stream? I want to. Yes. I was thinking about possibly doing it Wednesday and maybe seeing if I could get some friends together to play, but I don't know yet. Mammoth Man 45. Thank you for the subs, dude. Appreciate you. Been a hot while since I've chimed in. Hi, friend. Yes. Dude, those ghosts sucked. Yeah, they were not very good. And we didn't want to risk it. Play what on Wednesday? Lockdown protocol. Like it's basically an Among Us style game. Basically, yeah. Playful, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Just gonna toss that in there. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Yo, Manon, thank you so much for the 2 months. I don't even know how to respond to this person. Man. Hilarious. With everyone on docks, I about woke my 1-year-old laughing. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm not glad about that. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm not glad that you almost woke the 1-year-old. Yeah. Hi, lady. How are you? Oh my God. Any tips for playing Ghost Watchers for the first time? Oh God. Educate yourself on the game. Spend a little bit of time looking at the ghosts and spend a little bit of time understanding how to get each thing you need. So like when you need to get the EMF and you need to get the temps and you need to do all those things, educate yourself a little bit before you go in. Yeah. Hi, Ms. V. Confirm. They need me to confirm information and all this jazz. Oh, I don't have it on me. Sorry, I was on like a 33-minute hold. I'm so fearful to go away from this hold. Just confirm. No, I appreciate it. No. I don't want to make you guys wait forever, but I also don't want to have to tell them to tell me, oh, we're going to put you on another 30-minute hold. Like, son of a bitch. Hi, Knox. Oh, hey, how are you? It's just stupid. It's dumb. Dumb. Are we holding? I mean, technically, yeah. I'm also holding. I'm also technically holding. But yeah, we are going to be doing... Where's our custom? So, Apocalypse 1 is what's next. And we'll look at what the settings are for that game mode. So we understand what we're running into. Yeah? We'll look at the settings for it. Damn, these people are slow. I might have to abandon ship and come back to it later. Might have to abandon ship. Thank you for the lurk, Knox. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, they're so slow. We can hold together. It's a group hold. Oh. Shuckaroos. All right. Okay. There we go. They sent me an email, so now I can do it that way and deal with it later. I don't have to deal with it this moment. It's cool. It's all right. We can bypass. Moving on. Moving on. Minnie, hello. We can unhold. You don't have to hold anymore. Let go. Let go, damn it. You can let go. How do I redeem points? For what, lady? What are you trying to redeem points for? Always remember that your call is very important to them, so... No, it is not. They don't care. I was basically talking to a bot almost the entire time. Okay. So... My plushie shirt came in this week. Oh, they're so soft. Psychic. Oh my god. They are so freaking soft. Jack, I'll never let you go. Boo boo. There we go. Hi, Izu. Hello, friend. All right, let's look at the Apocalypse 1 settings because this is what we're about to run into. This is what we're about to do. So, Apocalypse 1, we are looking at... Oh, wait, I forgot to do this too. Shysta! I'm losing it, man. We're losing it. We're losing it. We're losing it. Wrong emote. No, you're all right. You're all right. Yeah, the Apocalypse 1, well, sorry. All the Apocalypse runs are going to be not very fun with the tier 1 equipment, but we'll see what we can do. We'll try our darndest. We will try our darndest. I could do it? Okay. Okay. Can't you just press 1 to talk to a real person? No, they don't allow that. They kept redirecting me to the same bot, to the same message over and over again. And they were like, here, use this link to reset this. I go to the link and it's like, oh, you need more login information? Go to here. It's like, there was like a Vine ages ago that my wife loved to, where this guy was like being sent the password, but like the reset thing, and he'd have to, oh, send it to my, he's like, oh, send it to my phone. And then it sends it to the phone, but it says, check your email. He's like, shit. It's that. That's what I just kept getting redirected like that. It was so annoying. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. We're here now. Everybody breathe. It's fine. You'll have the most fun ever. No, I won't, Salem. It's not going to happen. Hi. Break of daylight. I hope you're having a good day, friend. Daniel, think of it a follow. Mares flock to you. The day we had the most mares we ever had, you weren't even here. So, yeah. Nicarita, thank you for the new tier 1. Welcome in. Appreciate you. Hey, what up, Diablo? Oh, my Lanta. What are we doing today? We are on day 2 of the all difficulty tier 1 challenge. Yeah. Day 2. Day 2. Spicy, thank you for the 13. Appreciate you, friend. Thank you for the great content. I'll send a kiss to the community. Oh, you guys got a kiss. Lazy, thank you for the prime. Hey, Wes, how are you, dude? Yeah. Hi, Nix. Hello. So these are our settings. We're on Apocalypse 1. So let's look and see what the settings are. So starting sanity's at 75. Sanity power restoration's 20. Drain speed, that's fine. No sprinting at all. Player speed is normal. Flashlights are on. That's fine. Ghost speed is 150%. So we're going to need to use our noggins to remember what each one was. Or I could use the website. APOC bronze, basically. Yeah. Apocalypse 1, yeah, it's the same. Tommy Tom! This is who the challenge was created by, Mr. Tom. Gonna lurk, but got you. I appreciate you, Tom. We'll see. I don't believe in me, Tom, but you know what? We're gonna try. Hi, Timothy. Last Odin, hello. How are you this beautiful Sunday, good sir? Not bad, man. We had the back door, the giggity. We had the deck door open today. It was really nice outside. Like nice little chill coming in. I digged it, man. Yeah. Gamer Geek, hello. What's up, Daniel? Don't forget the ghost photo. Roger that. Thank you, Squish. All right. What else do we have here? So 150%. We're going to need to, again, remember what that's like. Roaming is high. Changing favorite room is high. Activity low. And then grace period is 2 seconds. That's fine. Hunt duration's high. We get 2 pieces of evidence, which is hilarious. On insanity, you get 1. On APOC 1 settings, you get 2. Okay. Fingerprint 100%. Fingerprint duration's normal. No setup time. Random weather. Doors open high. Okay. We have our sanity monitor. We have our activity monitor. So it's not bad. Really, it's just not being able to sprint and 150% ghost speed, I think, are like really the things we have to worry about. So it's not that bad. It's not that bad. But let's see where we're going. So our APOC 1 is at Edgy Field. So we are going here for APOC 1. Oh, here, I'll go back so you can see it. So once we do this, the APOC 1, we then move on to APOC 2 at Ridgeview and APOC 3 at Tangle. So we will see. We will see. APOC 1, yeah, the settings that I'm doing, it's for the all difficulty challenge, the idea is that you are doing preset whatever they give you. So these ones are there normally, but you need to go in and actually set this one. So there we go. But yeah, all tier 1. Hassan, hello, friend. Welcome in. Fridge. That's right. Edgefield, I mean, we have a spot in there, which is fine. So we should be okay. We should be okay. What's up, Saki? Have almost all the Phasmo vids on YouTube. Oh, I appreciate it, Unknown. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. We had a new video go today. Yeah, I had a new video go live hour ago-ish. We're not playing with viewers, gamer. Yeah, if I'm ever playing with viewers, it'll be in the title. Yep. But yeah, that's our monthly goal for this month. If we reach our goal, then we'll have a really big viewer day. Yeah. Yeah. That's usually what it's like. If you see a streamer or somebody playing, if they're playing with viewers, they'll probably have it in their title. Probably. Prediction first goes to Ure. Shut your lips. You shut your lips right now. Thanks, Nix. Dude, all that stuff? No, you're good. No worries, man. No worries. Amy, hello. Do you get a badge if you complete it? You get one if you complete the regular Apocalypse. We're doing Apocalypse settings, not an actual Apocalypse run. So if you do the Apocalypse run on Sunny Meadows, single player, get your objectives, get the ghost photo, yada, 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 then you get an ID card and a trophy. And you also get those trophies, these guys back here. So when you complete them, you actually get that. Yeah. All right. Well, let's do it. Let's rock. We're just going right into it, man. 75 sanity. Ghost is 150% speed. We can't sprint. Those, I think those are like the three. Oh, and two evidence. So those are the things I think we need to worry about the most. It's gonna be a Hantu. I'd be okay with that because you'll be able to tell the difference in speed. Bethany, Heather, hello. Thank you, friends. What's up, Valkyrie? Doom scrolling on TikTok. Saw the live. Hey, let's go. Appreciate it, man. No? Okay, there we go. What is our objectives? Cruci, 25% repel. No ghost photo. Rock on. I'm down. I'm down, Charlie Brown. Easy Dio. Let's go. I haven't had a Dio yet, by the way. I've gotten crap ton of wraiths and things like that. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Song. We had a mimic. We did have a mimic. I'm late. No, Jess, you're good. We just started. You're fine. You're fine, friend. I'm still getting used to my layout that I changed. It's still odd. Still trying to get used to it. No, Jess, you're fine. You haven't missed anything, dude. Does single player have to be a single player or can it be multiplayer but just one person? No, that's a great question. I'm pretty sure it has to be in single player. I don't think you can get it in multiplayer with one person. I don't know the answer to that, French, but I could probably figure it out. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it has to be in single player. Yeah. Song, I know, dude. Trust me, there's been so much crap happening with our backyard and everything else. I'm so sorry. I know, man. You can play solo and multiplayer, but why though? Because there apparently seems to be, which I don't know, it's just from experience from a few of us, that the reason we used to do it before is because the ghost couldn't actually hear you in single player. When you're playing in single player and you tried to talk to the ghost, like if it's a yokai or something, couldn't actually hear you. But they fixed it. But now, if you ever spam your walkie, you do this. Apparently in single player, there's something happening where when you do that, it bugs out and you're no longer on push to talk. You are now on voice activation for some reason, and the ghost can hear you at all times. So if you're streaming, talking to people, and you do that, that sucks a lot. So we're just going into multiplayer to avoid. Yeah, just to avoid the problems. So don't spam it. Well, I mean, I'm in multiplayer right now, so it's fine. Oh, okay. So it's fine. It's fine. I can't sprint. Oh, that's right. Why single player so buggy? I don't know, man. All right, we are at 75. I'm so hesitant right now. You know, no, we're not. Not today. We're not doing it. What I could do is I could get everything to the door again, like we did last time. I think that's not a bad idea. Let's do that. Always quiet during a hunt. It just depends, man. Sometimes I don't want to be quiet during a hunt because I want us to be able to talk about what's going on. So I might say, like, listen to the ghost speed, blah, 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 this, that, this, that. But if the ghost can hear me, I have to just shut my lips. Imagine if I just saw dots right there. That'd be so funny. Hey, gamer, how are you? Caught another. Oh, you saw Siren? Yeah, Siren's great. I get 2 pieces of evidence on the APOC 1 settings. I get 2. So it's going to be hiding something. We just don't know what. We just don't know what. Right now, we're just getting things to the door. So that way, if we do find Ghosty, we can quickly start getting things in the room. Think it's a pull team? I don't know. We got nothing. Look, Ghosty ain't doing squat right now. Low activity, man. Let's get another smooch. Lethal Kitty, hello. Do I play with viewers? Yeah, if we reach our goal over on the purple side this month, I'm gonna have a big viewer day. But I don't do it like every week or anything. Let's get some salt in there. We don't need the photo. We need the crucifixes. So, well, I mean, we're going to need a photo anyway, I guess, because I got to get a perfect game. These also have to be perfect games, by the way. It's not just getting it right. No, no, no. If it's not a perfect game, we lose. If it's not a perfect game, we out. You died last night on Apocalypse 1. I didn't play last night. What? You died last night. Wait, what? I wasn't playing last night. Were you watching somebody else, Queen? I don't think that was me. I think they meant on Friday. I didn't die. I didn't die on Insanity. We never did the APOC one. Yeah. Oh, they're predicting the future. That's not very nice. Okay. I'm just gonna throw these at the door. We'll do this and this. Hi, Fritzy. How are you? DLC for Phas? No. Negative. That's a big 10 no. Do I want to take Sanity right now, or do I want to wait? If I don't take it right now, that could be beneficial because then we know if it's an... I'm going to take one. The multiplier is 6. For the APOC 1 settings, it's 6. All right, we want Smudge. We want you. And we need you. All right, let's rock. I don't know why I went to that bowl. I don't know why I did that. Nice. Another ghost that turned on the breaker? What? Dude, I never get that. So... Okay. The ghost can turn on the breaker? Yeah. Interesting. Mares can turn on the breaker. Yeah. There's nothing special about a mare in the breaker. Nothing. The ghost is so thoughtful. Aww. I don't hear anything right now. Okay. Was that over here? Ooh. Okay. Good to know. We found you. And we see our breath. Yeah, mares, there's literally nothing special about a mare in the breaker at all. At all. They're light switches. It's not about the breaker. Do this, this. What up, Ray? Yeah, we saw our breath. It's radioactive. We have phalanges. Many much goo. What door did it touch? Oh, you're leaving out here. Aren't you? Wait. Where's the door? Excuse me. Well, that does... Okay. It did touch this door, right? Do we have an obake? Hold on. Huh. Oh, I went to the bowl because of music box. Oh, that's a very good possibility. Okay, so we have ultraviolet. If it is an Obake, it could give us orbs or EMF 5. So that means I would have to get EMF 5. I would have to get EMF 5. Jennifer, hello. My friend. That there. Put this. A single step. That was it. All right. Normal. I will leave this here for now. All right. Why'd you cancel out a Hantu? Because the ghosts turn on the breaker. Hantus can't do that. You know what we're going to do? I tell you what we're going to do. Let me check my sanity. We're being very safe. When the light flickers, does that mean the ghost has moved to that room? No. The light flicker. Ooh, we're down to 75. When the light flickers, it honestly doesn't mean much. The distance at which the ghost can do things or make the light flicker is very far. Very far. When I use tier 1 thermo, it never reaches freezing, but the ghost has freezing. Why? Do you have a clip of that? Because if I have a freezing ghost, I get it in there. I get freezing. Didn't clip it. If you could try to clip it next time, that'd be great. All normal phalanges. Let me. What up, Arthur? It's too late. Now it's not. Okay. Oh, I gotta remove that companion thing, don't I? Yeah. Yeah, the Hantu cannot turn on the breaker. Correct. They cannot turn on the breaker. Give me a sec. Pausing. The Jinn can't turn it off. The Hantu can't turn it on. Sarah, thank you for the 16 months. Appreciate you, friendo. There's an app I need to get rid of. Delete. Goodbye. Okay, it's gone. Okay, it's gone. So let's go. Still very sus. Still very sus of an Obake. Still very sus. Why can't a Hantu turn it on? It's just part of the wiring of the ghost. It's just basically a feature of the ghost. Yeah, Nicholas, thank you for the follow. What's up, Leo? Thank you for the 3 months. All right, we'll get this in there. We'll take one of those up there. We'll take this up there. Yeah. What up, Jim? I don't know if it officially walked and all that or not. Creeper. Normal. Uh-oh. Whoa. What ghost do I hate the most? Urays suck a lot. I'm below 50. How? What is happening that I'm losing sanity? Is this hitting me with a sanity drain? Wait a minute. It hasn't cut the power yet, right? But here's the confusing part. I swear to God, it touched something and didn't leave anything. Do we have late orbs? Let me watch this for a sec. I'm obviously within hunting. Obviously. Oh, the drain. Oh, the sanity drain is faster. Ooh, touche. Oh, that might be why. That might be why. Ty, thank you for the prime. Most of the places I've been in, though, I've been in the light. That's why I don't understand why I'm getting such sanity drain right now. Just make it hunt. Well, that's not a good idea when you can't sprint and you're trying to save resources. Yeah. So we need to try other stuff. I'm going to do this. We need to get the second piece of evidence so we can cut everything else off. Does that do anything at all? Tell it to do the ting. You're guessing a phantom? Could be. Could be. Okay. Well, I guess we'll have a smudge at the ready. Let's try the other evidences now. I mean, I was thinking it was an obake, but now I don't know. Again, has not cut the power yet. Has not cut the power yet. Where are you? Are you near? Are you close? Are you near? Where are you? Freezing. Yeah. So unless it's a mimic that's hiding the orbs. Hi, Roxy. So we're looking at a demon or a djinn. And it hunted under 50. It didn't hunt early. Hi, Mr. Dave. Hello, friend. I don't know, man. I think I got hit by a djinn ability. I really, really do. What up, Ninja? I think I got hit by a djinn ability. UV could be covered. What do you mean? Too shy for a demon? Oh, no. We've had some pretty crappy demons recently. What you mean? What you mean? So we got that. We need repel in 25. We'll get that for sure. Let's take this. Let's go upstairs. We need to find the bone. Do I play with viewers? Yeah, if we reach the monthly goal, I do. How many is that? Is that 5? Up. Listen here, you creeper. We don't need a ghost photo, right? No, I just need one more. Oh, was that up? Ew. Okay. Mayor, I'm going to assume no. Do you like the radio music? I actually do. I like the creep factor of the music. It's just, you know, it's just creepy and I don't want it right now. All right, we got, oh, you son of a bitch. Look at that not counting. Thank you, deletion. Mother effer. Ghost pick. Don't need it. Don't need it. We're going to do this for reasons. For reasons. All right, let's go find the bone. are you? Huh. It's gonna trip the breaker. Oh no, we're good. Quiet, Ray. Nothing. Keep moving. Make the ghost hunt. So how would making the ghost hunt help me find the bone? Just out of curiosity. Coist possession. I might need a flashlight for this. It might be somewhere that I can't see that well. See how dark that is? Never mind, it's the circle, yeah. Yeah, it's right there. Too dark. Yeah. Yeah, let's do a lap around the living room real quick. I almost want to wait for it to hunt. I'm good at it. Yeah, I've played before. Difficulty? It's the APOC 1 settings. We're just doing them on Edgefield. Where the bone? Where is the bone, you creepy bastard? A bone detector? It's going to be in the master and it's going to trap me in there. Shut up. Was I scared? The first time I ever played Phas? Oh, for sure. Fucking terrifying. Why do you turn the lights off? Because if I turn too many on, I'm going to trip the breaker. So that's why I'm turning them on, like turning on the ones that I need and then turning off the ones that I don't. Thank you, Spoonia. Bone was literally in the room across the hall. Yes. You need a photo. I know I need one. I know. I just didn't want to waste time. I didn't want to waste time. Hey, whoever just got a shirt. Thank you, friend. Yeah, but think about it like this. I need one photo, right? What's downstairs in the basement? Circle. F those shoes. Damn right. No, there's not a mare in the basement. So if I don't have to go upstairs, we can do this. Get our third star photo. Get out. How do you know? Buzz, buzz. There we go. Now what I could also do, stick these over here. It's a ghost. No, it's not, Siraj. F these shoes because we said so. I could go light the circle just to decrease our sanity because obviously we need to get to 25 anyway. Advice for playing on nightmare mode? Yeah, if you're playing on nightmare mode, my suggestion to you would be to start eliminating ghosts. Start eliminating ghosts. setting the mood a little bit. All right, so we need anything else? I have smudge. We have all 4 smudges, just in case Ghosty decides to stick around, but we need to listen to the 150% speed. Make sure. Hey, Lachlan, how are you? Oh, God. No orbs, right? Yeah, you're going to be a djinn. You're going to be a djinn. When did I start playing Phas? Like 3 years ago. Yeah. Phasmophobia, hello, friend. Tom, appreciate you. What's up, Jamie? Holy shit. Bro, she got wheels. Did they fix that spot? What's the fix? It's just breaking line of sight. It's not a hiding spot. I'm pretty sold on an old Jimmy Jim. I'm pretty sold. We did hear that speed up, yeah? We did hear the speed up. Djinn ability, you're not going to be able to get it with solo like this because you're not going to be able to hear the breaker EMF if you're upstairs waiting for the ghost to drain your 25 sanity. So no, that doesn't make sense. She zoomed when she saw me. Like, yeah, you saw the pickup. Yeah. How much delay stream got, bruh? Not much, bruh. Yeah. Bruh. For sure, a Djinn. Yeah, we could do another one just to be on the safe side. I say safe side as we need the ghost to hunt again. Oh, look, we got 1, 2, 3. So it should be okay. I say should. We listen. Hi, Mel. Oh. Yeah, that was dicey. A little dicey. She was coming to hang out with us. I wasn't a big fan of that at all. Nope. I was dead for a second. Yeah, me too. Okay. So we were between these and we saw the speed up. Yeah? We saw the speed up for sure. Rotate their Jeep. 3 smudges. Sheesh. Oh, she wanted to join in the hiding spot. Yeah. Probably. Okay, well, if we get that wrong, that means we have to start all over and that really sucks. But I'm pretty sold that we saw the pickup from that. Yeah. Yeah. Pro Baka, it has to change ghost model, not position. Wait, position? What? Who said that? Misfit, hello. What's up, L? We say demon would have hunted 10 times, but that's not necessarily true. I had a demon not hunt me once, even getting below 50, 40%, whatever. You picked up the bone, right? Yeah. Yeah. We certainly have. Weekly, welcome in. Posey, how are you? Can the mimic hide orbs? No, never. No, no evidence the mimic can't hide orbs. No. They have to have orbs. Have to. What's Phoenix's channel name? Phoenix. All right, well, we're going for it. We have our objectives. We have our photos. We are pretty damn certain that we saw the sprint from that ghost. Hasn't shown off the power yet. This difficulty is APOC 1 settings. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Djinn, photos, bone, come on. Do the ting. Do the ting. Okay, Sadilla, hello. Thank you for the Frank.
Welcome back. I've got some jobs ready for you.
Beginner tips. Always know where you can hide. Even when you're going to a map for the first time, always know where you can hide. Look for your hiding spots so that way if shite goes down, you know where to go. No, no, not when I'm multiple places, Quesadilla. No, no. How do you get the demon achievement? You need to get the demon to hunt you within a minute by using its ability. And it's not something that you can change by changing the sanity. It's an ability. So you go into the map, 1 minute, it doesn't hunt you, move on. It has to ghosty hug you within a minute. Yeah. Has to. Okay. Well, there was APOC 1. That seems way better than all the other crap we were dealing with the other day. Holy shite. But now we are on APOC 2, which takes us to Ridgeview. Yeah. APOC 2 to Ridgeview. Boop, boop. Getting Doom Slayed is fun. It's all by chance. It's RNG. If the ghost is not a demon and doesn't decide to use its ability within a minute, I mean, what are you supposed to do about it? Because you literally can't do anything about it. Can't. High school insanity. No, that's not what this challenge is. That's literally the opposite of what this is. Why tier 1 equipment? Because we did this challenge already with whatever equipment we wanted. So we're just making it harder by forcing ourselves to use tier 1. Yep. Yep. Yeah, Ella. Yeah, we're just continuing it on, friend. Yeah. Okay. Making yourself suffer. That is correct. That is correct. Yes, we are. But yeah, Doom Slate is 100% chance. Chance. So now let's look at our custom settings for APOC 2. So we have starting sanity of 50 this time, so the ghost can hunt us right away if it's a normal. Yeah. Goose, thank you for the 6-month prime. Appreciate you, friend. Sanity play restoration is basically nothing. Great. No sprint. Player speed is 75. We have flashlights, thank goodness. Ghost is still 150. High roam. High changing favorite room. Activity low. Event frequency low. Still got a 2-second grace period, thank God. The defaults are beyond weird, Mike. They are... I don't know who decided on these. I don't know. I don't know. Frackin' weird. Mike, I hope you're having a good one, man. Good to see you, friend. Yeah, frickin' weird. Hunteration is high. Kill extend hunt is high. 1 evidence this time. 1. To watch Supernatural, no. No, no, no. GG, thank you for the follow. Welcome. I was a Jin. You were a Jin, Brotator? What does that mean? You should probably watch it. Yeah, I know. Wow, yeah, your aunt's house's cabin or whatever thing is in the show. I get it. I know. But yeah, I should. Everyone keeps telling me to watch it. How can you tell the difference between a ghost hunt versus a ghost event? There's a few different things. There's a few different things that that can separate them. If you see the ghost immediately and you're playing on a difficulty that allows for a grace period, it's an event. Because if it's a hunt, the door will shut, the front door will shut, and then in 2 seconds the ghost will start moving. Yeah. It's still the best show ever. I know. There's a lot of catching up I think I have to do to watch that one. Yeah. All right. Fingerprint duration, chance, that's normal. 1 evidence. Okay. Heavy rain, fun, good times. That really doesn't matter. It's a house, thank God. Brotator cheap. Oh my goodness. Thank you for the 31 months, friend. Oh my God. My God. First episode of Supernatural is totally fire. All right. I'll definitely have to check it out. Hear footsteps immediately during a hunt? No, you don't. No, you have the grace. That's the grace period. So if there's 2-second grace period, event. If it's the right type of event. If it's a ghost ball, you're not going to hear any footsteps at all. It's more months than years I've been alive. Oh my God. What is the ghost speed for this one? This one is 150. 150. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cap, thank you for the follow. Welcome in, man. Well, here we go. The fuse box is broken, so we don't have juice, which means that if it's a djinn or something, that means we have to basically cut out every other possible ghost. Yeah. So this should be fun. Should be a blast. Let's do it a ting. Our starting sanity is 50. The ghost speed is 150%. Our speed is 75%. The power is broken. We get one piece of evidence. Yep. Who's Yoshi? You don't know who Yoshi is? You don't know who Yoshi is? Really? Really? Wow. Wow. Imagine. No? Bro, you got some education to do. Oh my God. Quesadilla, thank you, friend. What's up, Ari? So, we still have... we still have lights, thank God, at least from a flashlight, so it's something. But let's get stuff to the door. Let's get stuff to the door. What's the most annoying ghost? If there is no evidence? Ure is definitely up there. Yeah. Ure is absolutely up there. Olive, hi, friend. Yeah. Ure's really suck. They're not good. I missed that card. Roxy, if we reach the goal this month, I think I'm going to have Dixper on that day, so that card will be active. Yeah. If I'm going to dress up like Yoshi, we might as well go full send. Might as well go full send. Oh, let's get more stuff. Here, I could play some music while we're waiting. I mean, while we're walking all this shit to the door. Rip Dixper. Yeah. I see a few people using it here or there. Speaking of Ure, I've done some science on its ability. Which rooms really do have a door connected to it? On Ridgeview, the living room, dining room, and foyer are linked to the main door. Really? That's... I don't know if I like or dislike that. I kind of like that. If I had to come back as a Phasmo ghost, what would I be? Probably a shade. Just sleep all the time. Yeah. Why am I playing with level 1? Because we are doing an all difficulty tier 1 challenge. So we did the all difficulty the standard way. This was a challenge created by our friend Tom in K21. He drew inspiration from some other friends and creators as well for that. But to amp this up a little bit, we are doing all tier 1 equipment because, well, we hate ourselves and, you know, because. Do djinns still do their speed boost with the breaker being broken? No, they do not. Actually, with the breaker being broken, you have no way to tell if it's a djinn. There's nothing to give it away. So that means you just have to cancel every other ghost. So, yeah, that sucks. Random tiers, random language I could try. Okay, Mike. Whatever. People like you and Dave don't count. You're not allowed to be included in the mix. Because we like pain. Hi, T. You guys don't count. You're not part of the demo. No. It's not allowed. It's literally not allowed. Dave. They do all the crazy stuff. If you want to see maniacs play, just watch Mike and Dave. Just watch Mike and Dave. They are the psychos. Ellen, hello. How are you? Baby Lotto, thank you for the follow. Brother, play on VR today? No. Ads are over. Really? Hold on. Take a quick pic. That's an awful idea because we have no idea when that door shuts, so there's not going to be an interaction. Did I help? No, I did not help produce the game in any way, shape, or form. No, I just my voice was included on the spirit box, like a lot of the creators are. The difficulty is APOC 2, and we're fairly certain that we have either a Ure or a Mimic. Because I went back to go get more things from the truck, and the front door was shut. Now, I think what we're going to do is I'm going to go get a flashlight. Oh, no, I got this one here. This is fine. If it could do it again, that'd be great, because what I don't want is the game to have thought that I was in the building, and then it shut the door trying to hunt or do an event or something like that. Effing Ure, man. Why? Heckin' rude. I know. And stay out. We haven't even walked in the building yet. This is what I did last time in the video. I was backing up and then it shut the door. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Just watched how... Oh, I hate Ures. Yeah, they suck. I hate them so much. Absolutely despise them. Repel, witness a ghost event in 25. Should be fun. Witnessing a ghost event should just be a blasty blast. Brother, come on! I was watching the door. Why didn't it do it then? All right, one more time to be sold on it. Tier Master, welcome in. F you, dude. Come on, do the thing. Wait, can I get a flashlight on the door higher? Hold on. Let's see. A little hut. With a little bit of hut. Shit. Panda, thank you for the prime. Little hut. With a side of hut. Come on, just do it. Son of a bitch. While we're waiting for the door to shut, I'm going to keep doing this until I get it. My favorite ghost. F this ghost. Hey, there we go. Nailed it. We're waiting right here. We're waiting right here, damn it. Is Ure the one that shuts doors? Yes. Ure is the one that will slam a door shut. You'll hear a delayed shutting sound when it does it. He said the thing. No, I didn't. Shut up, Mike. But because this is obviously only one of two ghosts, we just want to see it do it again. I know. I'm going to turn around. I'm going to turn back and the door's going to be shut. It's what's really funny is that Mike was literally just talking about how he figured out like what door is connected to the ghost if it's a Ure when it comes to shutting the door, and like living room, dining room, foyer, they're all connected to the front door when the Ure uses its ability. So anytime it decides to do it in one of those rooms, it shuts this door. Any mimic orbs? I didn't see any. That doesn't mean that there is not any. It just means I didn't see them. So we're listen, it's APOC 2. If I get got by Ghosty, we have to start all over again. So we're taking an extra second or two to make sure. Have crucifix been eaten? Ghost hasn't hunted yet. I haven't been in the building. I have not entered the building yet, and we're pretty sure that the Ure has done its ability twice. Am I correct in saying there's no cursed? Yes, that's correct, Nikki. Yeah. To get the multiplier to where it is, you can't have a cursed possession. Yeah. No, I haven't stepped inside the building yet. Easiest game ever? No, it's not. I still got to find the bone. I still have to get all the photos. We have to do all that stuff. Naaman, you're good, man. I'm going to go grab lunch. Don't get snatched. Roger that. Roger that. Just do it again. It's not going to do it. It's not going to do it. It's not going to do it. English only void. Why are you doing photos? They don't multiply. To get a perfect game, you have to get photos. So the whole idea of with this challenge is that you need the game to be considered a perfect game. And the only way to do that is to get all the photos. It's the only way. Damn, sorry, didn't know. I'm pretty sure in the rules it says English only. He's too scared to go in. Shut up, Mike. Don't call me out. So if you're just joining why we're just staring at this door, we're fairly certain we have a Ure that used its ability twice. So we want to see it again just to like seal the deal before we start trucking in and doing the things. Yeah. You probably turn around and hear it shut. I know. Just do a quick turnaround. Do a 1-2. I know, Ninja. I've been reading the messages. Do a spin. There's no damn way. There's no way. There's no shot it waited for me to turn around. I sure do, Ninja. Okay. Well, I'm pretty sold on what it is. I'm pretty sold on what it is. We're not going to wait. I just need to get in there. I need to try to get all of our photos and our stuff. So, yeah. They said spin around, it'll do it. Then it did it. Leo, thank you, friend. It's so shy. No, it'll shut it in my face. Okay. Oh, I appreciate it, Josh. Thanks, man. So let's see here. We're going to take this guy and go hi-ya. Because it's going to hunt. Or it's going to try to hunt. I need to go get... I didn't grab matches. Let's go grab matches real quick. Oh, thank you, Ram. Need to find the ghost room? I mean, not really. I just have to live. I have to get the photos and live, but we have to find the bone. So smudging the ghost is going to be the way that we do that. Yeah. We need these guys, that guy. Yeah. Door shut. You sack of shit. Every time we've gone to the truck and come back, it's shut the door. Every single time. What I might do is I might take one smudge with me and carry the crucie and go to the kitchen. Maybe that's the move. Yeah. Maybe that's the move. Give me this flashlight. It's telling me to stay out. One last double check. There's no way that this thing is a mimic that has mimicked a Ure and has done it this many times. There's no way. Except for twins, it always starts hunting from where it is at the moment. The ghost is walking around just invisible. Correct. So it's roaming around. It's over here somewhere. We don't need you right now. No, 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 no. We need you and you. Okay. Sounds like a mayor to me. $119.30. Are you seeing in the dark? It's just very dark. I really can't see. What the fuck? Dude, it has done its ability like 6 times. Oh, it's cold here. I gotta be careful. I don't want it to hunt here, but I want it to event. That's why I'm kind of sticking out of the hiding spot right now. We need an event. Stop bragging, Mike. I've turned the brightness all the way up and still can't see. Yeah, it's still very dark. Am I required a ghost photo? Nope. Yaxi, hello. What's up, Minnie? We have a smudge here. Got one in my hand. How long do you usually stream for? On Sundays, I usually go for like 3 hours. Maybe a little more. $122.10. It's gonna come back down. 122.30. Well, that was dangerous as shit. Hi, Mr. Rafa. My voice is on push to talk. What do I do with it? Where is it? There it is. Bone. Yeah, I gotta find it. Check, check. What the fuck? That explains that. Yep, the ghost could hear me. So to multiplayer? I'm in multiplayer right now. You tap local, it should fix it. Okay. Check, check. It's a feature. So I just need the bone, right? Bathroom? Mom, bathroom? Oh, I'll 100% check the ability. Like, how many times? Oh, yeah. Hunting. Is that basement? Time. Gotta run. Gotta go fast. Trying to save this smudge if I can. It still could have been down there, by the way. What's up, Apple? How are you? Garrett, hello. Can I complete APOC 3 today? Maybe. Maybe. So we're waiting for another hunt. Done. Going up. Going up. So I have to be quiet now during hunts. Let's go this way first. I think it did fix it, but I'm afraid. Check. Okay. Done. Run. Yes, I mean walk. You know what I mean. Why do you flick the light switch to know if the ghost is hunting? You can't flick the switch if the ghost is hunting. So if you're not close enough to hear it when it starts hunting, it's one good way to know when it starts and when it ends. Yeah. Ure. All the ability. I mean, all the objectives. All the abilities. Yeah. All the photos. Got the bone. We out. We run. Hey, what's up, Cat? Welcome in, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, you're welcome, of course. It's so spicy. Why is it spicy? Get me out. Wait, you know what? Hold on. Wait. Before I go. Yeah, but I think Mike found a fix for it. Okay. I think it's gone away from the front door. It's not going to do it anymore. All right, we can leave. I don't think it's going to do it anymore. All right, you're right. Yeah, I think Mike found a fix for it, though. About tapping your, tap the local microphone to fix it.
Welcome back. There's some jobs ready.
Holy moly. The bone was upstairs in the kid's bedroom. Yeah. The real question is, how many times did it use its ability? 8. 8 times. I'm fairly certain that we caught every single one of them. Bathroom close enough? You know. Pish posh. All right. Did that say 8? Oh, yeah. Favorite room change. It changed its room 8 times. Yeah. All right. That's APOC 2, which means that we are now on to APOC 3. This is going to be spicy. What is the ability? The Ure has the ability to slam a door and drain your sanity. But one thing that the Ure can do that no other ghost can is shut the front door. So this ghost was near the front door and it shut the front door without an event or a hunt like 6 or 7 times. Before we got into the map, it used its ability twice to shut the front door. I swear, if you get another gimme ghost. Listen, it's RNG, Tomothy. Dude, Tom, the last stream, holy hell, that sucked. Those ghosts were awful, man. They were awful. Awful. Kroll, thank you for the 2 months. Thank you for the prime. Oh, dude, it was so bad. Hi, Kate. It was so bad. All right. On to La Tanglewood, which means that this is going to be our APOC 3, which is times 15. It's as bad as you can make it, basically. You don't have flashlights. You're walking at 50% speed. Ghost is 150. You get no evidence. This is the tough one. This is the make or break, because if RNG is not on your side, whoops. If RNG is not on your side, thank you, then you're screwed. If I need a ghost photo, it might be bad. Trog, thank you for the sub. Appreciate you, friend. And Kate, thank you for the 14 months. Basement Goryo, shut your lips. You shut your lips right now. Did you check Carr's sub message? Wait, what? No. Mr. Carr, I didn't even see that. Oh, I'm sorry. It was probably in the midst of all that shit. Carr, thank you for the 55 months. I don't know what's scarier. Tier 1 equipment or that I'm at 50 Tier 3 glory. No, you don't judge what's scarier. That's not the way to do it. that's not what the judgment's on. Car, thank you so much, man. Madge, thank you for the tier 1. Welcome in. Yeah, and Kaylee got merch. The early birthday present to me. Thank you for getting the Plushies Attack shirt, dude. I love it. I love that shirt so much. That Celsius. Oh, the pineapple. Oh, this guy. Yeah, this one's good. The tropical vibe I'm down with. Yeah, it's pretty damn yummy. It's pretty damn delish. All right. Well, here goes nothing, I guess. No point in delaying the inevitable. We're here.
All right, we're here.
Which means, oh, I might as well leave this on and just turn it down, because it's going to take us a second. It's going to take us a second to get everything. Here we go. If anybody gets motion sickness, I'm so sorry for all the fast movement that I'm doing. Apologies. These do not work, by the way. Useless. Absolutely useless. But we will check for that, for sure. For sure. For sure. What just happened? Wait, what? It didn't even show up in my freaking activity feed. Something happened. What happened? Oh, Night Owl. Thank you, friend. Why is that not showing up? All right. Let's go. It's going to be a lot of back and forth trying to get all this crap to the door. So let's do it. Slow down. Sorry. Imagine I go over here and see orbs. Tom would be so pissed. Tom would be so mad. I'm going to be honest with you. I almost thought I saw them for a second when I saw the light on the computer. I really almost thought I saw them. Listen. Listen. The odds of getting that are extraordinarily low. But, you know, it's worth a try. Bye, Ninja. Listen. Moving way too fast. Here. It looks faster when you're down closer to the ground, so we'll just crouch the whole time. Like that one time in prison. I mean, now the really hard part about this one is we don't have flashlights. I don't have tier 3 firelights. We basically have no light. Use the UV. Well, that's going to be really difficult. The clipboards. The clipboards are always a good trick. Yeah. Thank you, Brianna. So, if you're unaware, these clipboards, for some reason, just are not affected by any light in the game. They're just always this bright, no matter what. So, even like, look how bright they are on the ground out here. They are that bright in the house in complete darkness. So, we can use these as points of reference. Site's overrated. Hey, Perry, how are you? Had no idea that was a thing. Yeah. Because look how bright this is the entire time. It's light mode. So even though it doesn't brighten up the things around it, it's not reflective by any means, we can still use it. Like I can know, okay, when I get to there, when I get to the clipboard, I'm in the house. So yeah. It's glow in the dark. Do I go off after I complete it? No. Stream goes till usually 4-ish Eastern time. So no matter what happens here, we're still going. We're still trucking. Okay. These are not going to be that helpful, but we're still going to do it anyway. Yep. Not playing with Viewer's Legend. I vote chat his ears. Listen. You listen. So look, now I have a point of reference. Look, right there. We'll put those right there. Right now, we're just a choo-choo train trying to get everything to the front door. Because the second the ghostie starts hunting, it's obviously going to be super fast while we're super slow. So we just got to move quickly. Yeah. Shorty, that's a very loaded question. Because the response would be very, very loaded. The tips to identify ghost movements and interactions. Every single ghost is unique in its own way. And learning these ghosts one by one is the way to go, man. Learning what they can do, the special abilities that they have, things that make them stand out. So in practice, going off of what ghosts you have is the best way to learn rather than like trying to smash learn all of this at one time. If you're trying to do a crash course and learn 24 ghost types within a single stream of somebody else playing something else, it's going to be really tough. Yeah. Can you look through the garage of the tier 1? Maybe. Maybe. Should you buy Phas now or wait for your friend to buy too? Depends if you're going to play solo or not. If you're going to play 0 solo, then I would probably wait. But I mean, there's no harm in getting it now. If you're going to get it anyway, I would just go and get it. Tango does have candles. It has one over here to the left. Are you on OBS 30.2? I am, Mike. Yeah. Still sussy about it? I am. I haven't run into any issues. I think there's only been 1 or 2 times where the issue was like it was not responding, but that was probably it. All right, do I have everything here? I don't think I do. No, I need more salt. Okay. Playing Learning Fast for about 2 years, still learning. We're always learning new stuff. Is it just me or is the walk really slow? No, it's just you. No, I'm at 150%. Get into the game like, what the hell's wrong with my game? Why am I going at 5,000%? What the fuck? No, we're playing Apocalypse 3 settings, so I'm at 50% speed. Slow AF. It's just a really, really large map. Yeah, I think that's a really good way of putting it. Here, we'll use the lightning as our light. Okay, this is going to be spicy. So, you, hiya! Camera, that's the closest thing I have to vision. But I don't, it's not worth it. It's not worth it to have the camera in my hand for sight when I need to switch to either a crucifix or a smudge. I want to walk in there with a crucifix in my hand because if that ghost spawns on top of me, there's 0 grace period. It can hunt me instantly. So, careful, SpongeBob. I haven't heard a single thing. I've heard nothing. You can put down some dots too? No, I can't. I can't do dots and I can't do dots or UV. Nope. You surely can't. My flashlight's off. With the flashlights being disabled, that also disables the UV and it also disables the dots. Unless that was changed and I'm unaware. I'll show you. Look. I can't even right click this one. So no flashlight disables both of those. Yeah. Good times. Need you. Get you and you. Ah, just one of you. That's fine. How come ghosts are all naked? Wait, what? Do their clothes have troubled souls as well? They might. You don't know. Do you have hiding? No. How do you check for fingerprints? You don't. It's no evidence. You just don't. We're not worried about photos right now. Okay, smudge, crucifix, lighter. So basically what's going to happen is I'm going to walk in here, not be able to see, and just truck to the hiding. It's next to the changing table in the nursery. There's a point where you can break line of sight. So we're going to go there. Check. Okay, can't hear me right now. Good. Yeah. So it should be a blast. Can you take a photo to see? Well, that would be a good idea because I'm trying to do a perfect game. So trying to get a perfect game and then... Oh, do I have an EMF over here? Ooh, let's go get an EMF. Firelight? I can do the firelight. I can, but the candles are only going to last for so long and I can't carry it around. It's just not worth it. Gonna insta hunt? Yeah. Yeah. All right, we need EMF though, so we might as well bring it. We might get lucky and Ghosty might do an interaction. Shut up, Mike. Mike uses a filter. Mike uses a filter to be able to see better since it's so effing dark when you do these kinds of runs. Headgear, it's useless. It's tier 1. There's no point. The delicious filter. Yeah. Hey, Zach. All right. We got this guy. We got that guy. Question is, do I want to try and... What do I have? I have this. I have this. I don't think I wanted to throw that smudge. I think I wanted to keep it. Unless I'm missing one. Am I missing one? No, they're all 3 right there. Okay. Just use your eyes. Shut up. All right. This is going to be spicy. Shining my phone flashlight at the screen so you see. Thank you. Oh, thank you. All right. Well, Ghosty's probably going to hunt almost instantly. We might get lucky and it might wait. The chances of that are low. Why is it not cycling correctly? Have you tried turning on the lights? Wow. Thank you for the follow. Welcome in. All right. think that's normal. Pretty sold that that's normal. That was 23? Was it? Ooh, spicy. Was it? So, if it's a demon, hold. If it's, I think it's in the basement. If it's a demon, demons can hunt in 20 seconds. Smudge test. We will. I'm just getting set up. Basement. Parabolic. Got it. 150.47. 150.47. This part's gonna suck. If it's in the basement. Hunting. It's done. Okay. What I want, what I really, really want, is there. Give me you. Smudge test? Yeah. It was hunting very quickly. Let's do this. This here. Put that there. was up. That was up. Tech, thank you for the 3 months. Okay. What I'm worried about getting right now. I'm pretty sure that hunt started from up here. I'm pretty sure. Now it's in the basement again. It's about to be done. It's done. Tis done. Tika! Thank you for the merch. Appreciate you, friend. What's up, Dream? I want this. I want to get the para before we start walking around. If we can. If possible. It's not a spirit. Spirits can't hunt for 3 minutes. Yeah, spirits can't hunt for 3 minutes after being smudged. What we don't want to do is go to the basement. We really don't want to do that. Why am I using the parabolic if it's not a banshee? Because the parabolic is used for more than just a banshee. You also need it for an objective sometimes, like this. Well, now it's dark. Elsie, thank you, friend. Yeah, unfortunately, tier 1 cannot hear through floors. Correct. Yeah, unfortunately. CB, thank you for the 7-month prime. Why is it bad to go in the basement? Because I'm 25% speed. I'm 25, 50. I'm 50% speed and the ghost is 150. Basically trapping myself. Did your alerts change in size? I don't think so. Did that look different, Car? I think it's done. I needed to change rooms. Like, I don't wanted to change rooms, but I kind of needed to. It's a demon. 100%. It's hunting like Banshee. How so? $158.38, by the way. $158.38. Thank you for the Prime. This is going to be dangerous. Do you think it can be any other ghost than except a demon? No. No, the chance of it mimicking a demon that many times is very unlikely. $60's over. Thank you. It's 2 minutes and 13 seconds of Nightmare. Good. Did you get a perfect game? I got the ghost. Well, no, that's not a perfect game, though. Objective 1 of the hunt is a perfect, like, is not even a perfect. It's just getting the ghost right. Hunting. We have to be careful about the parabolic. We don't want it to detect us. I right-clicked and it didn't register. Hold on, wait. That's why. This is why I died. I was talking and I think that wasn't detected, and I was. Shame. Damn. That's all right. We'll have to try it again. Killed by a bug.
Welcome back. There's some jobs
Killed by a
ready for
bug.
you.
Super Sag. Yeah, so if you're unaware of said bug, we knew it was a demon though. So the demon, Flash, look out. The demon hunts, it can hunt in 60 seconds after you smudge it. Normal goes to 90. Spirit is 3 minutes. So there's a bug currently in the game where even though you're on push to talk, it will break. And I don't know exactly how to make it happen. Unless you're like doing the walkie thing. I don't know. Something. So that's normal. That's fine. Push to talk is fine. Okay. Let me do this. I'm like testing things out to see if I can break it. The global push to talk triggers it. Let's go into a game real quick and just see. I just want to recreate the bug because that is definitely a problem. Skill issue. Why were we not in multiplayer anyway though? I was, Song. That's the problem. Looking back, I think my Apocalypse 2 run got me the same way. Probably, Tom. Probably. All right. So right now it can't hear me. But if I do the global, okay. Let's keep doing a check. Hey, okay, wait. Hold on. Wait. Okay. I pushed my local. It's doing nothing right now. Check, check, check. Okay. I did local in the game, away from the menu. Let me just do a single press of global. I pressed it once. I pressed global one time. A single time. And it's breaking push to talk. Awesome. Cool. And the only way to fix it, you can't fix it here. You've got to go back, like, because pressing that's not going to do it. You go back to here, you press your local, then you go back here and it's fixed. So, okay. So by that theory then, okay. So if I go to, let's see, microphone, no device. Okay. Game, voice recognition mode. None. Okay. So I'm currently on push to talk, no device, no microphone. I'm just very curious if this will happen. So if I go like that, okay, it still doesn't detect me. Good, because that was broken before. We do this. Okay. Still not going. Okay. So this is working. Thank God. But either way, I do global push to talk. Oh, wait. Wait. Check. Hello? Check. Maybe? Check, check, check. Oh, no. Now it doesn't hear me at all. Oh, I've broken the game. Now I can't. I'm pushing to talk and it's not working. I had a thread in the partner chat. Thank you, Tom. Okay. Check, check, check. Okay, let me leave this game and go back in. Well, I guess if we're going to figure it out, we're going to figure it out one way or another, right? Let me go. I'm going back into the game mode that I was in. Create. Go. Go. We made it all the way to APOC 3 and we got killed by a bug. Sag. Super Sag. Who needs to fix it when you can break it? What's up, Das? How are you? Do you have push to talk on your mouse? I do. Voice recognition should not be linked to anything. That's just what the game understands you say. Right. Check, check, nothing. I do global and it's broken again. Interesting. So using your global push to talk to try and get the ghost to come to you is an awful idea right now because it's broken. Interesting. Fun. All right, Tom, after stream today, I will definitely add to the thread. Why did you join amateur? Because that's the game mode I play all the time. It's my favorite. It's my favorite. I was in ads. How does the global push to talk break? Well, if you right now, okay, it's fine. I pressed the global a single time, one single time, broken. Broken, done. Try unlocking the door, it fixed it for me. That doesn't even make sense, but I will definitely go do it. But I will definitely go do it. That doesn't make sense. Can I please answer? What was the question? If any ghosts step on the salt, but it does not count, even though it's a perfect photo, what go... Hold on. Wait. Hold on. Hold on. That hurt my brain. Hold on. I got to read it again. If any ghosts step on the salt, but it does not count. What do you mean does not count? You mean the photo doesn't count? Even though it's that doesn't, wait, but it's a perfect photo. Hold on. Wait, that's, if it steps on the salt, but what do you mean it does not count? Wait, that's not what I want. I want this. Check, 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 check. Press global, and it's broken again. Yes. Well, that didn't answer my question at all. Yeah, it's still broken. It doesn't, unlocking the door doesn't do squat. Nope, it's broken. Okay, let's go out of here. Let's go to single player. Yeah, gas. Yeah, eventually I will. Welcome back. Go to single. Go here. We're just picking any map, any difficulty. It doesn't matter. We're just testing the voice. We're just testing the voice.
We've arrived. Check the equipment.
I don't know what happened. It does not count. What do you mean it does not count? Count as what?
Got a report.
It does not count. You said you took a perfect photo. So if you took a perfect photo and it was 3 stars, it did count. That doesn't make sense. Yeah. It did. Okay, so didn't count as what exactly? Do you see where I'm like very lost? Okay, fine. I pressed the global microphone and oh look, it doesn't matter. Single player and multiplayer. If you're on push to talk and you like using push to talk, if you press your global microphone, you need to press your local to fix it. Must be glitch. You still have you said you got a 3-star photo, but it didn't count as a 3-star photo, so you didn't get a 3-star photo. What? Okay. All right, well, we need to not press the local, I mean the global push to talk button, because that breaks the game. I doubt that it's inside of their bug, known bugs too. I'm having a strong. Well, that is super sad, but you know, that's fine. Can you unmap the key? I mean, unmapping the key is not going to change it. It's still going to react the same. Let me search on Google. Still haven't answered the question. Okay, good talk. I'm glad we had this conversation. You have to start the challenge all over? I certainly do. I certainly do. We're not going to do it today. We'll do it another time. No, we'll do normal hunts now. We'll do the normal hunts now. Thanks again for the gin rabbit hole you sent me down. Absolutely, friend. That's what we're here for. Let me get my tier 3 back just so we can feel better about ourselves. Yeah, Song, I got nothing, man. I don't know what to do at that point because my question isn't being answered, so I can't help. So, yeah, I just work here. I agree. Death as a result of bugs shouldn't count. But then I feel like I would be cheating it. Go into my audio again real quick. For what? It did not count. So you did not get a 3-star photo. Like you see, like you said you got a 3-star, but you didn't get a 3-star. It counted, but it did not count. They took the pic, but it didn't give any stars, but they said that it did. No, I took only 1. Okay, I can't help. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do at that point. I want to help. I really do. If you want to go put it in my Discord, you're more than welcome to. That might be easier. Changing my device. So we did that. We watched us do that. I did no device, and then I put it back on my microphone that I'm using now, which is this guy. No, that's not the one. This one. So I did that, and it's still broken. It didn't work. It wasn't your fault though. I know, but I still like redoing that run because of a bug. Like, I don't know. I still wouldn't feel right. Have you tried turning it off and back on? Literally, yes, Cheebs. Ballistic. Yeah. Chiba! How you doing, my friend? All right, let's do just a good old fashioned, you know what? Let's do a Nightmare at Wheeler Street for a nice comfort run. I need a comfort run. Put it in rice. Yeah, that might be helpful. Okay, we've got our tier 3 set up here. Let's see what our stuff is. Thermo. No, we want you at 3. Crucifix. Firelight. Headgear. Motion sensor, I'll keep it 2. Incense at 1. Salt 2. Okay. Comfort run. Rooster, what's up, dude? Restart Phaz. We did that the last time. Remember when it was bugging out before? When it was bugging out before, we did the same thing. I restarted the game and it was the exact same. I guarantee they're going to say, we know about the issue. This is going to be weird. Oh, Joe Douglas. Capture a photo, incense, and motion sensor. We need CJ. Oh, CJ's just going to come in here and say, yeah, we know. That's not going to be helpful. Oh, yeah, yeah. Andrew, thank you for the prime. Wexy, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Oy vey. Ghosty. Why not tier 3 incense? I don't like to change the speed of the ghost. Roger that. Turns cubes into non. Yeah, he doesn't. He's not a part of the development. CJ's not going to be able to do anything. If anything, could relay the message, I suppose, to DK, who could possibly pass it off to Ben, but I don't know if Ben deals with that either. Yeah. Yep. What's the game in which you have the most hours besides Phas? Unfortunately, probably Rocket League. Bones of Spine, roger that. Alyssa, hello. All right, we know where Ghosty is. Let's get equipment in there. Unfortunately, you heard me. Hi, Mr. Chinggis. How are you feeling, sir? Are you feeling better? Ghosty's in the back room. How many hours comparably? I think I have like... Oh, it's not a mayor. I'm pretty sure I've got like a couple 100 hours more. I think. Oh, look, an orb. Let's go this way. Need a Rocket League stream? It's not going to happen. You heard the dots? Roger that. I'm going to go get another one, actually, while we're at it. Go that way, go over there. Did I unfortunately hear... Listen here. I think it's voice recognition. Voice recognition has nothing to do with the voice activation that happens in the game. Voice recognition is when the ghost is able to decipher what you're saying. It's something the console will not have on release. Console will not have the ability to have voice recognition. Yeah, unfortunately. I'm going to make a mod sub goal where Flash is forced to play. No, that's not how this works. Oh, no, you won't. Where'd the orb go? Orby, where you go? I know it was there. Did it already move? Big piece of crap. Quiet, Cheebs. You don't want me to play you again? There it is. Why was it hidden? Okay. Voice detection. I hear you. I know where you are. Voice recognition. What did you just call me? Correct. Yeah, voice recognition has nothing to do with it. Yeah. What rank am I? Dude, I don't know. I play it once a year for the memes. What was I? Ah, champ something. I don't know. Hey, how are you? All right. That should cover most of the room. Where are you? Are you near? Where are you? Are you close? Are you near? Are you far? Where are you? Are you near? Are you close? Where you at? Where you be? Who it is? Any phalanges? Not yet that we can tell. Do one of those. Hey-ya. Is it going to be text for console? I believe, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, if anybody knows. I'm pretty sure that you will be able to do voice detection, so you'll be able to talk to other people, but you will not be able to do voice recognition. So you won't be able to ask the Ouija board questions. You won't be able to make a wish with the monkey paw. You will not be able to use the spirit box and ask questions. It's going to have to be text. Until they figure out a system to make it work, which I believe they're going to try. I believe that's their plan, is to find something that works, but I'm pretty sure on launch it's not going to. Yeah. Unfortunato. Unfortunato. This is why I use text. No, it just sucks. It's just one of the bigger, it's one of the bigger sells of the game, is being able to interact with the ghost like that, and you won't be able to do it. How's it working with Prestige? I lost all levels above 100. Well, you go all the way back to level 1, just the next Prestige. Favorite room switch? All right, I don't see phalanges right now. The orb keeps like appearing and disappearing in this room, and I don't know why. I'm sure that was one of the reasons Phaz blew up. You're asking, where are you, Ghost Reply? Here. Gone. I need a photo of you. We need a motion sensor of you. We're going to take another one of you. Okay. When I level 250. If you go above level 100 and you prestige, any level that you got above 100 means nothing. You go straight back to level 1. Does not matter. Yo, where you at? Who it is? What it do? Can I not, like, frame this one? Or can you? Oh, you can. Yeah, there's a frame. I don't know why they don't let you put it on the door frame, but if you get the frame, you can still get it. You can still get it. Buying the shiny cosmetics. Oh my god. 1.5. 1.9. What's up, Multi? How are you? Play with a friend and a go. I should have crossed that off in the first place, and I didn't do it. Interesting. Oh no, it's a gaming child. Get out of the computer, you little shit. Leave the spirit box on. No, that's an awful idea. Sitting here listening to this the whole time? That's awful. No way. I'll ask it again. Where are you? Are you near? Nope, doesn't hear me. Where are you? Are you near? Are you close? Are you angry? Where are you? Are you near? Are you close? Yeah, I'm not about to leave that on for an entire map. You know how awful that is to listen to that? People that like walk into... I'll see you later. You know, the people that walk into the room, they go in here, they do this, they grab the spirit box, go like that, and then leave it on and just walk. Like, I hope your pillow's warm. Like, who does that? Awful. Awful. Banshee Yure Yokai Raiju Thay. You do that. You should stop it. Stop. Get some help. Stop. Get some help. Don't want it to hunt yet. Ay, ay, ay. Marcus! Thank you, man. Doesn't seem stalky. No, but we've also, whenever we've walked in the house, we've been... Go! You little bastard, get away from me. Hi, Vin. All right, well, you're gonna walk in that. That's a lot of singing you're doing there, Hoss. You trying to say something? Eh? Here, let's go over here. You're gonna walk in the salt. Go ahead, walkie walkie. Go ahead, I'll wait. And a 1, and a 2, and a 1, 2, 3. You can't be a wraith. Go back to your room. Thank you. No way. Oh, F your face, game. We all saw that, right? We were there. We all sensed it. This did not count. Wow. Wow. The dad voice worked. Yeah. It. Wow. Okay. Alyssa, thank you, friendo. All right, you dotty little bastard. Come here. It's almost like the photos got worse because you can delete now. It's how's that work? Well, that don't make no sense. I need you to be standing and do a dot ghost right in front of me in 5 seconds. Nothing. Even standing or too tall. I did do 9 salt, but I need a ghost photo. Hey, get back in here. Oh, that's not what I mean. This might be a banshee. Come on, dude. Come on. Okay. All right, dot time. Here we go. Come on. Yes. If that doesn't count, thank you. And it replaced where that was. Okay, so now we can do these. All right. I'm pretty sold. We're eye level with the ghost. I'm pretty sold on a banshee, but let's go make sure. Let's go make sure. Womp hello. Swear I would have scanned with that photo. I know. It would have been another one that wouldn't have counted. You know how annoying that would be? Let's see. We got this guy, that guy, and we will take this just for funsies. We never get scammed. Bullshit. Thank you for the follows. Welcome in. We're not playing a viewer circuit. Why do you use tier 1 instead of tier 2? For the incense? I don't like to change the speed of the ghost. Actually, let's do this. Hold on. Better idea. Do you think they'll change it where you can take 9 salt photos? Oh, I don't. If they do, I don't mind. If I need to not stack them and place them differently, that's fine. I'll just adjust. But that's like so low on their radar right now of things that they give a crap about. So if it's in the game, use it. Why not? How much dollars do you have? All of them. They're all my dollars. Yeah. You can't have them. Well, that works. There we go. We have a smooge. Me too. We'll wait here. We'll see. Why multiple images in the same spot? Because we had stacked salt. So by stacking the salt, I'm able to take multiple photos after it's stepped one time. But if you can't stack them, you would just put them in a line. All you'd have to do is have the ghost hunt you one time and it'll walk in every single one of them. Not a banshee? Well, we don't know. It hasn't hunted yet. I might have to force a hunt. Do I know what the ghost says on the paramic? Yeah, it says, hey, Jamie. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it's close to that. Yeah. Thank you for the translation. You're welcome. How many tools do I have in the game? There's a lot. There's a lot. Right now, it's not feeling like Banshee because it doesn't feel like it's stalking me, but every time it did, almost every time it did dots, it was walking towards us. Why stack the salt? Again, if you stack the salt, you can get the ghost to step in them, and then you can take multiple photos from one spot. Surely you just insulted someone's mom and some. Wait, no, listen, no, there's no way. That's not possible. That's not going to happen. And then I receive hate mail. What evidence do we have? We currently have dots and orbs. So it can't be a mimic. We were thinking maybe it could. We were thinking maybe it could be a banshee, but it's definitely not stalked us yet. That's for sure. Tika, listen. Yeah. There's plenty of other things for them to fix right now than worrying about if the players can stack salt. The blurb that uses my YouTube thumbnail. Did you complete it? Oh, no, KP, we almost did. Yeah, I was on Apocalypse 3 today, and I died because of a bug. There's no shot. If this is a Banshee, it's so tame and annoying. So we'll say it's not you, just for kicks. And for now, I'm going to get rid of any electronic that could possibly be on. Because if it does... I don't even have the lighter on me. Give me. Hey, promise? Or the mimicking copy in Obake's 6-finger handprint. Yeah. It sure can. Sorry to bring up a salty moment. It's okay. Son of a bitch. I literally just posted about this today. This is why I use tier 2. Because I forget that I have the tier 3. But luckily it's the mirror, so our sanity is completely wrecked. God damn it. Chinggis, look what you did. Damn it. Now it's hunting. See, we're fine. Oh no. Oh, I hear it now. Okay. Oh. It's a Raiju. Oh, that scared me. I thought I was about to have a dot hunt. I was like, oh no. Why is that so quiet though? Interesting. Hot mic. I know. I pressed the local mic as soon as that happened. Here. That's for you. Enjoy. Don't spend it all in one place. Do I need the bone? Have I found the bone yet? I don't think I found the bone. Banshee's your favorite? It can be a really cool ghost when you're playing with others. No? Okay. Let's go find it. Do I have a smooge? I have a smooge. No bone. Let's go find a bone. Let us go find a bone. Discord thing you mentioned, where you can send messages and they're copied somewhere else. Is that done through a bot or native? I imagine that a bot would need to do forwarding, Mike. I think I remember what you're talking about. To be able to forward messages, and then you would, that same bot could potentially automatically delete messages from that same channel. Yeah. Yeah. There has to be something that can do it, because I feel like I looked into it at one point. I don't see the bone. Oh, look. Oh my. Boner on the toilet. Boner on the toilet. Hey, Sammy. Forgot to wash hands. It's fine. Okay, ghosty. That thing. That ting. Good. 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 Raiju. Good. Okay, go. Interesting placement. Yeah, you know. I don't know where you store your bones. But we know where the ghost stores its bones. Raiju. The balance was on point. Yeah. The balance was so good.
Welcome back. I've got some jobs ready for you.
You put your bones in the fridge? That's weird. It's less weird to find it on the toilet. Yeah. Raiju. Never changed its favorite room. Not a single time. Not once. Not once. All right. What was that paramic thing? What do you mean? Edits, no. Sometimes I put milk in the cereal box and eat it from the box. You're an awful human being. Well, I mean, unless you're eating it by yourself. You do you, boo-boo. You do it the way you want. You do your thing, Chicken Wing. If other people need to also share things with you, bro. Yeah, bro, indeed. Yeah.
Left in a hurry.
Hey, Davis, I'm good. How are you? What do we got? Bedtime. Good night, Mike. Appreciate you, man. What was the Apocalypse 3 ghost? It was a demon. It's what we thought it was. Yeah. Yeah. Leslie West, 25% escape emotion. Let's go. Let's go. Can I play with you? No. I'll predict the next message. Bruh. Got it. I'm on it. Because of the death by bug. No, no. We play it out. We do the rest of the... I'm still streaming. We're still playing games. And now I get to use the tier 3 equipment. Well, look. This is how we make ourselves feel better. Let's go there. Yeah, I heard the piano multiple times. Multiple times. Gorby, Gorby, Gorby. Gorby, Gorby, Gorby. Super freaking bright. Jesus. What else do we need? We need you, take you. Tier 1's painfully bad. It's not the most fun thing in the world. But, you know, we made it through. Kind of. Not really. I don't feel as bad losing that way. Or maybe I do feel worse because it was the bug. Yeah. Okay, nothing. Let's go. Let's go. Licorice tree, hello. Should you use the cursed object? No, you should use the cursed object. Saw the orb. Yeah, we saw it. We good. Where are you? Are you near? Where are you? Are you close? Are you near? Are you far? Where are you? Are you near? Where are you? Nothing? Ooh, might be freezing. Could be freezies. Hey, Courtney. I hear you over there. Could also be a fiver. No. Coffee Dawn, hello. Play Containment Breach? No. I don't know what I'm gonna play. There's so many games on my list, man. Did it walk in the salt and not do any more walking? Oh, phalanges. Can you tell me why I've been able to carry a fourth object? Because one of your objects is more than likely a firelight. When you stack salts, you don't get feet. Oh, yes, you do. That is a bold-faced lie. Unless I'm wrong, then it's not a lie and I'm wrong. Let's do a test. So when you stack, the ghost doesn't walk. Let's see. I should have just done 2 and then 2, but it's fine. All right, Ghosty. We need you to walk. Playing a nightmare? Yeah. My case is closed. Stepped. Footies. Lies. Deception. Deceit. It just walked more. It just walked in that one and then walked that way. We test the shit out of this. There's footsie doodles right there. We got footsies. Thank you for the follows, guys. Welcome in. First shape. So Banshee, Hantu, Obake. If it is orbs and ultraviolet, it's not you. That means Banshee, Obake, possible mimic. Maybe. But if it's an Obake, here, let's do this. Let's do you. Let's do you. 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 Gonna bake some cookies, damn right. Can you check Spirit Box, please? I did check Spirit Box. We can check it again, though. You saw only left footies? I'm pretty sure I saw other ones, didn't I? Why not Hantu? It has to be freezing. And if we get freezing, then it's not a Hantu. It would be a mimic at that point, because then we have 3 pieces of evidence on a nightmare run. Hello? Cut. Wanna do it again? Dude, okay. All normal. Man, like the fact that there's no fingies here, I wish we could. I wish we could, but we can't. F major. Obake, maybe. You bastard. I don't know. Every single hit has been a fingerprint. I haven't seen it not do one. You know what I mean? It used its elbow on the piano. Imagine. All right, let's do this. Rather than waiting around for it, we'll do it this way. Just walk around slapping windows. What kind of an animal is this? So let's do there. I think the odds of an Obake walking over here like this probably wouldn't. More than likely would not. But you never know. Good girl ghost, hello. You have a lighter? No. Who uses lighters? Noob. I need a lighter. Doing a Banshee test? Yeah, we're checking to see if we can get a Banshee scream. Who uses gear correctly? Pfft, weirdo. Marcel, welcome in. Thank you for the follow. You think it's a phantom? I don't. Let's go get that lighter we talked about. Yeah, let's get that lighter we talked about. So what I could do, I could make it hunt and we could see if it shapeshifts. It has yet to not leave ultraviolet or do a 6 finger, which is super unfortunate. We could check for temps again. Maybe it's a mimic. This would explain why we're not getting a Banshee Scream. Yeah, Rice, thank you for the 18 months. Oh, my word. 18 months. 25% escape during a hunt motion sensor. Well, I need this over there anyway. Here, walk through that. Let's do... Let's see. What's our photos? I haven't taken any photos yet. Do I have a photo camera in here? Just a little cold. It's fine. The mimics can do the Banshee Scream, but I mean, it has to choose to be the Banshee at that point out of all 24 ghosts. So the odds of getting it are way lower. It's not worth waiting for it. It ain't worth waiting for it. Don't need a ghost photo. But I mean, if you show up, I wouldn't be upset. You son of a bitch. Fine. Let's do it your way. Hey, Luton, how are you? So now we're not worried about photos. We got this there. We got that there. Again, it's a Mamake. Let's see. What do we need to do now? So now we need to lower our sanity. So we're going to use the cursed possession and we need to escape to hunt. Escape. And the bone. And the bone. Yeah, yeah. And the bone. Let's leave one here and go find it. Who needs bones? I do. Oh my God. Nathan! Thank you for the gifted subs, dude. Now, Ghosty could decide to turn into a wraith and teleport to us for a hunt, so we have to be careful, SpongeBob. Okay. We do have to be careful, SpongeBob. It's you. Did you mark off freezing? I don't have to. It's a mimic. That's a... We don't have to do anything at that point. Hey, Super. Crucifix, yep. I'm on it. I'm gonna literally take this beesh outside. Nathan, appreciate you, homie. Go to lurk mode, figure out dinner. Appreciate you, Mr. Chinggis. I'm glad you're starting to feel better, man. But get better faster, because I'm sick of you being sick. Do you understand me? Gamer Wolf! Oh, you crazy pants. Gamer Wolf, thank you for the subs, homie. Oh my God. Oh my God. Shut up. Not you, the ghost. All right. How old are you? Do you like chips? Do you like beards? Hide and seek. I don't like you anyway. Wait, no, I don't want that. Where are you? Goodbye. Hey, Valley. Check. We're fine. We're good. We're good. Wifey, what's up? How are you? No, it doesn't like chips or beards. F this ghost. Love how the subtitles are different than what you say sometimes. It's meant to be. Hey, Natalie, hello. I am. You shut your lips. Oh shit, I gotta escape you. All right, well, I just bought us some time. My bad. It's my bad. Am I a yokai? No, I'm not a yokai. The subtitles are sorry. Ay, ay, ay. Hey, Thomas, how are you? Yeah, it's a mimic. Yeah, we got... So on Nightmare, you only get 2 pieces of evidence, but we have orbs, ultraviolet, and freezing. So because we got 3, we know what it is. Hey, what up, Kenny? F those shoes, by the way. Shush. Listen, nobody asked for you. F off. Emily, welcome in. Thank you for the follow. It is a mimic. I asked for me. What, Lupus, I don't even know what that means. Don't you ghost fart on me. Don't you do it. That was a double switch. That means there's a ghost fart trap somewhere. That's what that means. Hey Kat, how are you? My favorite map is Willow. Willow. Because it was all Willow. Right now we're playing Guess What the Ghostie's Pretending to Be. That's the new game. It's a faker. Is this fast? It is. What's your stats say? Which ghosts kill you the most? I think Demon has gotten me the most. Which it's gone up for sure because we had a bug happen on our Apocalypse 3 run where the ghost could hear me. I mean, I was also impressed by it. Hi, Grandma. Oh, jeez. Criminy. Hey. Want some smudge? Here, I'll feed you. Num nums. Thank you, Alyssa. Wow. There we go. Bye, Granny. I miss you. Q. This is not a hiding spot. No, but it's a way to break line of sight, and I don't feel like going to go find an actual hiding spot so we can watch the ghost. Yeah. You don't miss her. Maybe I do. You don't know me. Don't act like you know me. She did not bake us any cookies. No, it does make me very sad. Hey, Rocker. Welcome in.
Welcome back.
Love the YouTube shorts. Appreciate it, man.
Ready for you.
Balmoral, hello. Can a mimic copy a ghost trait during an event? Can you get a false phantom pick during an event? I mean, yeah. The phantom disappearing in the ghost photo is an ability. So you can have a mimic that is mimicking a phantom and then you take a photo and it disappears. Yeah, but if you look at your evidence, phantoms have spirit box ultraviolet dots. So if you get orbs, it's not a phantom. And a mimic is guaranteed orbs because the orbs are not real evidence. Yeah. Did you finish the all tier 1? No, I did not. No, unfortunately, I did not. Thank you, Gabby. Yeah, we had a microphone bug that killed us on Tanglewood. Yeah, unfortunately. Let's look at our statistics. Amadeus, welcome in. Demon. You're A. Hate it here. Hate it here. Hate it here. Hate it. Viking, how are you? I have ads that are about to play. We're just going to go ahead and run them while we're sitting here at the main menu. So if you are not subbed, if you don't have turbo, don't worry about it. I'm going to run them now so that way you guys don't miss anything before we go into the next game. So 3 minutes. We do it to remove pre-rolls for an hour. So if you need to get a snack, go get a drink, you do what you got to do, and then we'll be right back. But 5 of you were just saved from it. Viking, thank you for the subs. We shall return in 3 minutes. We wait for everybody when we possibly can. Viking. Viking. Thank you, dude. Graffiton. That's right. The Survivor. We're special. Well, we have a good wheel to spin. We'll do that after the ads are done. Could not live with the sub. Oh, thank you. Oh, Viking. Thank you so much. No, thank you for the subs, dude. Human Aid, thank you for the 7. Hello. Are the games, for the most part, good? How do you get this ID card? You need to be an official creator with Kinetic Games, the creator of Phasmo. So basically be an official Phasmo content creator. And then you get that card. For the most part, the games have been fine. We've had one moment where they were not fine. One moment where they were not okay. And it ruined everything. What about other ID cards? Prestiging, events, holiday events. Yeah, you can find out about all that info in there in the Phasmo Discord or in the wiki. Yep. Play rock, paper, scissors? I'd rather not. I appreciate the ask, though. All right. Minute 30 will be good. A minute 30 will be done. We'll be back to it. No, I didn't win Apocalypse 3. No, we had a game bug where the ghost could hear my voice and I was talking. Yeah. Elizabeth, thank you for the 4-month Prime. Thank you for the hype train, friend. With Wish, thank you for the bits. Appreciate you guys, man. Thank you. You're playing Phas right now? Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Rain, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Grab pizza. How do you change it? You see this little button in the top right? When you click on the button in the top right, it gives you the option to change whatever it is you have. So prestige badge, special badge. You can set certain ones, but then choose which theme you want to go with, whether you want to go with the special badge or the prestige badge for the background color. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Song. In what way would you wish Phasmo as a game to move forward? More ghost challenges? I mean, all the above. All the above. I think for Phasmo to stay alive and relevant, I think they need to continue updating constantly. Right now, there's been such a hard focus on console. It's, in my eyes, set them back a lot. Yeah, a lot. So we haven't had a new ghost in over 2 years. If that gives you any idea as to the priority of things coming into the game. We haven't had a new ghost in 2 years. Yeah, that's rough. We had 3 ghosts all get released at the same time. We had Moroi, Dio, and Thay all released at the same time. Right at the same update. Right at the same time. Haven't had a new ghost in 2 years. Yeah, it's been that long. I mean, before we got Point Hope, the last time we had a new map was over a year before that. Yeah, so again, I think there's been a lot of setback because of console and making sure that everything is optimized for all that stuff. Yeah, unfortunately, is a game worth buying? It's an amazing game. It's absolutely worth buying. Yeah, but hopefully with the new staff that they've brought on, all the new peeps, that they're able to move quicker. I know that Unity is working with them personally to get things ready for console. They've told us that 100% it is being released on console this Halloween event time. So whenever the Halloween event is happening, it's around that time. It's around that time that the console is coming out. They said 100%. So if it gets delayed at this point, I don't even know what to say. I wouldn't have words. I wouldn't have words. So if they didn't stop to get the console ready, they wouldn't be able to bloom. Yeah, but the issue is that when you have such a large player base already and you're basically abandoning ship to bring on new people and not continually keeping the game entertaining and interesting for those that already exist, you are losing people as you're trying to gain people. So rather than continually pushing updates like they said they were going to do, they've had to hard ass focus on console. So your player base, your main player base, your hard players that are playing all the time, this direction, not that way, continually going down. Yeah. So that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. But we have a good wheel to spin. We have us a good wheel to spin. We did reach the goal. We did reach the goal. Appreciate you guys. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There it is. I need to like be able to do folders in here or make different folders for this. There we go. There we go. I don't think they should add new evidence. No, I don't think they should add new evidence. No, there's more than enough evidence in here right now to where they could add a couple new ghosts without having to even touch evidence. So I think that that's low priority in my opinion. Yeah. Okay. Thank you guys for the hype train. Appreciate you guys. 66%. But since we reached the goal, let's give it a spin. Ooh, gift a game. We haven't had that one in a minute. Any updates on console? No, nothing as of recently. No. Gift a game. Ooh. All right, let's do this. Before we go into the next one, let's do this. It is a random game. Well, not random. Well, there's a wheel spin that needs to happen. Yeah. Yennefer, I'm pretty sure that that's fixed. I'm pretty sure that they stopped that. I'm not sure if it changed. Yeah, that's been stopped for a little while. No, it's not a Phasmo giveaway, Kratos. It's a random Steam game. All right. If you have Steam and you want to win said random game, if you type game into chat, into Twitch chat, the purple app, you could win. You just have to type the word game. It's not a command. It's just the word. 'Tis just the word. But yeah, obviously there's a purple sided thing I can't do this everywhere. I wish I could. I wish I could. While you guys are typing that in, I will get this. Roxy, I hate your face. Yeah, you're good, Yennefer. Yeah, there was a spell of a time where you could have everybody taking pictures of multiple things, but they stopped that. And understandably, I don't think that every player should be able to take a picture of the same thing. Yeah. Yeah. Welcome in, guys. Good to see ya. Green, I know. Trying to co-mingle can be tough. You guys have 20 seconds, and then I'm going to spin it. 20 seconds. Here, while you guys are doing that, we'll do this. While you guys are doing that, we'll do this. Hi, Dread. Remnant from the Ashes Complete Edition. Ooh. All right, 3, 2, 1, let's rock. Thanks for the gigantic emote. Oh, hey, how are you? Yo, let's go, Astronix! GG's, Fred. GG's. All right. Move that over here. Move that over there. Move that over here. GG's. But yeah, every time, every day when we reach the goal, we spin the wheel. And it could be a sub, it could be a game, it could be merch. We've done a bunch of merch. Bunch of moich. Bunch of moich. Astronix, where you at, friend? Where is your name? Where you be? I was not expecting to win. There you are. Hello, friend. I got you. Give me a hot second, and then I'll get you the code. Here, I'll even copy the name down for you. Oh, come on. It's being silly. It's not letting me whisper you. Hold on. Hold on. It's being dumb. I got you, friend. Give me a second. I got you. Give me a second. I got you. Z-Lots, thank you for the 10 months. Baron, Skibbity. That's the only, it's the only way I can credit the wife. Mr. Baron, hi friend. Thank you for the bits, man. I appreciate you. Fair? I think so. Oh, Baron, I got killed by a bug earlier. It's not a good time, man. It's not a good time. I am doing well. How's everything going, man? Good to see you, friends. Guys, make sure you're following Mr. Baron. This beautiful bearded being. I keep asking the ghosts every time if they like beards, and most of them say no, Baron. I don't know what to say. Kata, hello. They don't like chips. They don't like beards. Our pets' heads are falling off. All right. Kitsune, thank you for the 19 months. Hello, friendo. All right, I'm almost done. Sorry, this made this exponentially harder. Go there, do that, do that. Okay, done. Done and done. All right, Astronix, you have been whispered, friend. You have been whispered. I like chips and I have a beard. I don't like these ghosts. That's what I'm saying. By the way, I tried, I forget the brand, but I tried cheese curls that were like jalapeno flavored with like a little bit of spice to it. Oh, dude, they're so good. They're so good. I forget, is it hers or something? I can't remember the name of the brand. My wife's dad got them randomly for us to try. Psychic, thank you for gifting Baron a sub. Mind sharing? Maybe. I don't know. They're really good. I kind of want to keep them to myself. Freaking delish. All right, let's go to Grafton. Thank you guys, man. Appreciate you. Play Blair? Nah, I played it once. I don't have any interest in playing it again. No. I played it for the memes. Played it for the memes. Making some tea. Didn't realize the milk was out of date and it was lumpy. Ew. The jalapeno poppers. Yes. Yes, the jalapeno popper cheese curls. Dude, so good. Holy crap. We tried them yesterday for the first time. I could eat the entire bag. So good. Lumpy tea. Brother. Oh my God. Lumpy tea. Ew. Shadow, how are you? Do you guys know that even when it curdles like that, it's still okay to drink? How'd I rate Blair? Well, I don't play Roblox regularly, so I probably wouldn't rate it very high. I came back at the wrong time. Well, no, you came back at the right time. Did you know that most milk has pus? Oh, look, it's you. You know what's funny? I remember there was a time where I had to do a public speaking class, and the topic at which I chose, or the title of the. Is this another one that turned on the breaker? This is 3 today. I didn't turn on the breaker, right? Did I hit a breaker not knowing that I hit a breaker? Coolian, hello. I was like, did I hit the breaker without knowing that I hit the breaker? Not paying attention? It's got the power. I did a public speaking class and I turned it on. Was it back over there? Did I blindly turn it on without even realizing I turned it on? Autopilot, dude. Oh shit, breath here. Absolute autopilot. But the title of my speech was Got Pus. In the beginning. Hi, Chuck. Yeah. Never been glad when we're lactose intolerant. You have to understand that all milk is allowed to have a certain amount of somatic cells, and what that is that's pus, basically. And they are legally allowed to contain so much. But you need to understand that the day that I made that speech, that morning I ate a bowl of cereal. So like, doesn't affect anything. Subbed unfollowed. Is that a fiver? It is. I haven't ruined anything. I'm educating you. Yeah, all food, they're allowed to have minimum amounts of certain things. Right. Raj, I'm good. How are you? You being willing to eat it does not make the situation any better. I mean, it should. I'll stop. I promise I'll stop. I promise. It's not dad lore. It's called education. You can't call being educated dad lore. Where are you? Are you near? Where are you? Are you close? Are you near? Are you angry? Where you at? What it do? Where you be? Who it is? Where you at? Any phalanges by chance? Nothing? All right. Well, guess I'm done. Listen, this all started because somebody was talking about chunky milk. Okay? Somebody said chunky milk, and I just rolled with it. I'm sorry. What'd it do? So we have EMF5, and that's it so far. Moving on. It was me. Hey, Nix, how are you? I like the admission to guilt. It was me. Oh, hi, Pam. Why'd you look slow? That was interesting. That's why you need to mix Mountain Dew and milk together. It's called mildew. That makes sense. You know what I was looking for recently? I was trying to see if there was any possibility that Surge was going to start making a comeback. And they did at one point, but I don't think it's going to happen again. And it makes my heart very sad. Very sad. Mountain Dew and milk. It wasn't the same? No. Surge originally came out and then they had to remove it from shelves before putting it back because it had so much caffeine that it was harmful. And so they took it off the shelf and then put it back with a different recipe. But I love it. Hey, you ain't walking no salt here, bucko. What about Gatorade milk? What is wrong with you? And you guys say that I have a problem. How dare you? Warped, welcome in. How dare you? Dots. I know. I'm aware. Yeah. What evidence do we got? We have dots in EMF. So Wraith, Oni, Goryo, Raiju. If we saw the dots in Poison, then we know it's not a Goryo. But this The chance of the ghost walking through that past that motion sensor and not doing that. Saw the dots without the cam. There you go. Ya yeet. Come on, walk over here. Let's go. Hop it to. Good April Fool's joke. Oh, that's awful. I wouldn't do that to somebody. Come on, Ghosty. Just walk over here. So we can mark you down. 25 cleanse and event. Why are you sneaking? I mean, I could run into the room yelling, but I figured just crouch down like this and hanging out would be easier for me to see stuff. I mean, to be fair, there's a ghost in here that's trying to do evil things. Okay, you're about to set the motion sensor off. Go back to your room. Roger that. Roger that. Is Phasmo voice chat broken right now or just me? I don't know. I'm playing on solo right now, Hulk. I'm not sure. Are the voice chat servers broken again? Yeah, it 100% can't be this because it did that. We saw dots in person. So it's between this, but it also walked to the motion sensor and didn't walk in the salt. So, yeah. Pretty sure that I saw the board. Let's go get the board. How long do you think you could actually walk around crouch like that? 2 steps. Max. Absolute maximum. No, it can't be a mimic. Nope. It's a Raiju. No, it's not. SPC, thank you for the prime, dude. Appreciate it. It's a jackal. It's a jackal. A jackal. Also, why is this plate permanent? Wait, it's not? Wait a minute. Isn't one of these plates permanent? I'm confused. Wasn't one of these plates a permanent plate that you couldn't move? Why do you want to use the board? Oh, I wanted to lower my sanity. So rather than just waiting around for Ghosty to do stuff, we're just going to lower our sanity. Under the Ouija board? It wouldn't be on the corner. I swear to God, there was a plate there you couldn't move. Right. I didn't bring any crucifix in here, did I? I don't think so. Blue! Thank you for the 6 months, homie. Bring back snap bracelets. That's where it's at. How old are you? Goodbye. It's 87. Do I have the bone? I don't think so. I wasn't too worried about it right now. Snap bracelets at TwitchCon. There you go. How did you die? Choked. Probably on chunky milk. Hide and seek. I should have asked another question. I made a mistake. I hope it eats you. What level am I? 90 something. We're getting closer to 100. We're getting there. When you went to grab it and missed it, you barely, so it seemed immovable. No, I'm pretty sure I've walked up to it before and it didn't do it. It's like a shark. All right, still need 25. I made a mistake. I made a boo-boo. Yeah, Bruce. I need to cleanse you anyway. Here. This should hit you. There we go. All right, hey, can you event real quick? That'd be super cool. Hello? Ghosty. Hello? Livy. Livy! 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 Judith Tig! Livy! I feel you, goober. What are you doing? Well, it seems like something. What, Ben? I know. I need to get you more beans. I know we're running low. We're running very, very low on beans. You can't have that. You can't have that. Is it snack time? You are fibbing. That seems like a fib. Are you fibbing? Are you fibbing? How dare you run low on beans? I know. I need to buy another jug.
I'm just hungry.
You're hungry? Did you eat all of your lunch? No, you did not. That's an bold-faced lie. I watched you not eat all your lunch. I sensed it.
No.
With my own two peepers. I saw it.
I didn't.
I'd be willing to give you a few beans.
We're running.
I know we're gonna run low no matter what. If you want a couple now, I'll get you some, and then I'm gonna order more. Some hit the road beans. Do you want some? What do you mean hold on? What am I waiting for? Is that my daughter? No, it's some random kid. Look, these are the colors that are left. Are you willing to take random ones?
No,
You want a bar? No, that is a mom decision, and she's probably gonna say no because you had a snack. Listen, this is a compromise. Well, I can't do purple. Wait, yes I can. Hey, no, don't put your whole body weight on the desk. What is wrong with you, sister? How about this? Purple, yellow. Well, I think it's pink. You okay with pink? You're not okay with pink? And I'm gonna eat it. Get your body weight off the desk. I would appreciate it. Thank you. Appreciate you. So look, I think they're all pink. You don't have to. You want a green one? I think it's, yeah, pink, red, and green. Listen, most of them taste similar anyway. Okay, deal. I'll get you more, I promise. We got her beans originally because I was eating the really bad ones, the ones that obviously can taste like complete crap. And I didn't want her to continually just give her the blue ones because I don't want her risking eating like a puke bean. That'd be awful. So, so I'd gotten this, and they were purchased for her from freaking Break of Daylight. So I need to buy more. So I'll buy her some more beans. Yeah, they're Starburst. They're like the best jelly beans, actually. They're like the best. All right, got this. We got this. We'll bring one of these. Yeah, Starburst jelly beans, where it's at, man. They're the best. The best. Hey, Mar, thank you so much for the 2-month Prime. Appreciate you. Let's go upstairs. Damn it. You agree? Yeah, they're so good. Oh, I can hide here. It is a wraith. So it could teleport to us. Had to quit eating them because you devoured so many. Dude, the Starburst ones are just so dang good. Sparkle, hello, friend. You never knew? Oh, I would highly recommend trying them. They're so good. Sag. check. Okay, I pressed my local when I heard her coming upstairs. They're rather expensive in the UK. Are they really? On Amazon, I think they were like 10 or 15 bucks, I think. Oh, my smudge. 10 or 15 USD. Something like that. Yox, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. That tub for me in the UK is $24.99. Holy hell. Why is it jacked up so much in price? Was that a hunt? Yeah, that was a hunt. Indeed it was. We're just draining our sanity. I made a mistake by breaking the board too early, and now we're just waiting for our sanity to drain completely. I could just wait in the ghost room and then hope it events on us. Maybe we do that instead. Hey, we need you to event. Hello. That's not an event. Bone. Oh, I didn't even look for the bone. What up, power? So spicy. Ghosty, please. To the tick. Ooh. Hi, pancakes. Wait. No, it's not worth it. We need to drop the sanity. Hi, how are you? Bang. Bangarang, Peter. There we go. Running into that, running into the ghost dropped me 10% sanity. This is my job. I would consider it definitely more than a hobby. Yeah, my day job is cinematographer, video editor. And then we stream and make content all week long. So 4 days a week I stream typically, and then making YouTube videos and all that jazz. Yeah. Short form, you name it. You name it. All right. I'm not worried about the bone. I'm not worried about the photos. No, we're good. Anyone had a problem with voice chat today? You know, Bill, somebody else said the exact same thing. Somebody else asked if there was a problem with the voice system, and I wonder if there is. I could check the official Discord.
Welcome back. There's some jobs ready for you.
I don't see any messages from anybody, but I also haven't checked the main. Broken mic audio. Fix the voice. There's a few people that are saying something about the voice. I wonder if... Boo, 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 boo. I don't know. I'm not seeing many reports of right now, though. Yeah. Get more I gotta get more jelly beans. I need to. So the little missus has more of a choice. I usually don't give her a choice. I usually just hand her a random handful. All right, guys, I think that's gonna be it for today. It is past my time. I usually end around 4, but we went a little bit longer. Yeah, we went a little bit longer. Unfortunately, we were gotsed by the ghosty because of a bug. So I'm definitely going to make sure to report that. They're going to tell me they know about it. And I don't know when the fix is coming for it. So as for a full-time fix for that, not using your global, Best thing I can think of. Definitely don't talk during hunts. Ay, ay, ay. But yeah, thank you guys for chilling with me today, man. Appreciate everything. Tubes, appreciate you guys. What was the exact bug? Well, when you press the global voice chat button, if you are on push to talk, you are no longer on, like you're still on push to talk, but the ghost can hear you at all times. Will you attempt the challenge again at some point? I think so. I think so. Yeah. Gamer Wolf, thank you, friend. Yeah, stick around. We'll go raid somebody. TikToks, thank you, friends. Appreciate the love always. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. No, I appreciate you guys, man. Appreciate all the follows. Welcome in if you guys are new. You guys are awesome. Halogen, get your face out of here. Get your face out of here. Oh my God. Yeah, Sundays, the reason Sundays are shorter is because I typically end around 4 and then I spend the rest of the day hanging out with fam. So preparing for Din Din, we have like a family game night. We'll usually have to do like a board game or play Mario Kart or something like that. So it's our time to chill. It's our time to chill as a fam. But yeah, thank you guys for everything today. Thank you for all the subs and the bits, all the new follows, all the raids. Appreciate you guys. Yeah. But stick around. We'll go raid. Close down Phasmophobia.
Welcome back. I've prepared some
If you
jobs
guys
for
did get merch today, thank you guys. I appreciate it too, man. There's been so much love on the merch recently, and I really, really, really appreciate it. The artists that spend the time to make that stuff, it's so like the merch that gets made. I love the art that gets done so much. So much. Queen! Hi, Queen. Thank you for the 16 months, friend. Oh, hey, how are ya? Queen, how was your stream? Queen did a charity stream today. She was dressed as a pickle. And she had to eat pickles. Did you have to eat those pickles? I know you had multiple. I saw the video clip, which was hilarious. I'm assuming one was probably spicy. One was probably sour. Yep, I did. It was nasty. Yeah, the texture is really bad. Those pickles, like when you think of a pickle that you would eat, the texture, you think like, oh, that's nice. It's crunchy. They're not crunchy. They're not crunchy. Just came back from Tim Hortons dressed as a pickle. They have a oh, it's so bad. It's so bad. I've only ever done those one time. That's why they're not a part of any of my sub stuff. I'm like, no. They're so bad. I mean, the sodas aren't any better, but the texture of the pickle just it's really, really bad. But I'm glad that you had a great stream. I want to find the sodas because my soda was good. These sodas are awful. They're absolutely Queen. I could send you the Amazon link so that you can see what they are, and then you can see if you can find them on your store. It's really bad. I did not finish the challenge. No, I didn't. I got killed by a bug. The game could hear my voice even though it shouldn't be able to hear my voice. So we bugged out and lost. So I don't want to say I'll just redo that run because it was bugged. I'm just going to redo the whole thing. We'll do the whole thing again. Maybe this time the ghosties will actually cooperate and it won't be as bad. Yep. It sucks, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Scooby, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. So, tomorrow's our next stream. We're back at it. We have our weekly to do tomorrow. And then like always, I post the weekly on Tuesday. What's super funny is that I posted a video today about how much I hate the Ure and the ability. And today we had a game where the Ure used its ability 8 times and it used it twice before we even entered the house. It was Apocalypse 2. Our Apocalypse 2 game, the Ure used its ability 8 times. Maybe it saw the video and it was like, all right, fine, shit. I'll cooperate. My bad. Dude, it hurt us. Yeah. It was like, fine, dude. I'm not going to live by this crap. It was too good. It was too good. Tonight we're having barbecue chicken. Going to cook it on the grill. It's going to be delish. My wife is already prepping it. I'm jazzed. I'm jazzed. Mind sharing? No, I told you could have a couple of the Cheetos. They're not Cheetos. Sorry. You could have a couple of their cheese curls. The jalapeno flavored cheese curls. Jalapeno popper. You had barbecue chicken. It's just right now for us where I am, it's perfect temperature to be outside and grilling because it's so nice outside. I don't know what the temp is, but it's definitely doable. When it's too hot, I don't want to step outside at all. It's 87 degrees outside, but it has a cool breeze on it and it doesn't feel as cold. I mean, as hot. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? All right, friends. 'Tis time. If you guys are not already in the Discord and you want to get updates on things, my Discord is there. My schedule gets posted there. We all hang out there when we're not in the stream, and the rest of my socials are there. Like I said, I posted a new video today. We'll definitely have more. 83 and muggy. Yeah, it's 87 for me too, but there's a cool breeze to it though. Dinner at Flash's. I don't think my wife would appreciate that. I want to go buy some more of those damn cheese curls. That's all I can think about. All right, guys. If you are not subbed, there's a command for you. If you are subbed, there's one for you. Creepy little tier 3s. There's one for you. We have, technically speaking, we have 3 more streams in the month. 3 more streams. We are getting closer to this. It will be a big viewer game day. It will be me dressing up as Yoshi, and Dixper will also be on. So lots of stuff and things. 64 for you. Oh, that sounds so nice. That sounds so good. Izu, thank you so much, friend. Izu, by the way, guys, you can thank Izu for the Plushies Attack shirt. Izu is the artist that made that design. So it was super freaking good. Super awesome. I love it. It looks perfect on the shirt. Absolutely perfect. Okay. Let us go say hi to someone who's having a celebration stream. Yeah, it's so good. Izu might be working on something else for me. Maybe. All right. Mrs. Mel Tight Pants is having a 12-hour 2-year partnerversary celebration. So we're going to go say hi. We're going to go say hi. Make sure you guys give all the loves. As for my partnerversary, that happens in December. I've been really debating having the celebration earlier in the month rather than later because technically speaking, my celebration day is December 26th. And it just seems like a really bad time to have it. So I might move it to earlier in the month. I don't know. I haven't decided. It's a lot. There's a lot. That's a lot for one time. Because my birthday's on the 18th. Christmas is on the 25th. That's on that. I might do it like the first week of December. Yeah. I don't know. I'll think about it. We'll figure it out. But guys, thank you for hanging out today. I'll make sure to do a bug report on the stuffs and the things. It's a lot. But guys, I appreciate you, man. Hey, spend your Christmas present money. No. You need to save your monies for the Christmas. You need to save it for the Christmas. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But all right, guys, we're out of here. There's the sub command one more time. Go say hi to Miss Mel. I'll definitely hang out there for a bit for sure. And then I'll go hang out with family. But thank you guys for everything today. I will see you tomorrow for the weekly for more fun.